Hey everyone, welcome back. I say everyone because I mentioned in a previous video that I've been just sharing these links privately with some family and friends. And when I want to open myself to the entire world, I will do so. But I forgot that I've actually put every single one of these videos on public, and over 100 people watched the video about my tirzepatide experience. So, hey everyone, welcome back. You probably don't notice, but if you do, our video is a little different today. We are filming horizontal as opposed to the way I normally film on my phone. My mom reminded me that YouTube videos are supposed to be horizontal, so I guess I am recording specifically for YouTube, so might as well go along with that trend. And it does format a lot better when you eventually put it on the YouTube site from mobile or a laptop or tablet. It is much better. I'm trying to work on like a more permanent setup here, but it's a little bit difficult to find like the right spot with the best lighting. So right now I just sit at my desk and this is the easiest way for me. You have all my background stuff, my DVD players and VHS players from my side business, Vidly, where I digitize old tapes, but it's a little bit of nostalgia here sitting right behind me. Anyways, if you're here, you probably don't give two shits about my setup or anything else going on behind me. You're here to hear what I have to say. So let's get into it. So a lot of times I'll have these topics that I want to talk about, and then I'll just start talking, and it'll ramble into something else. Sometimes I'll think of stuff as I go throughout my day and things that I want to talk about. And today specifically, I wanted to talk about clothes because for the first time in a very, very long time, I put on a pair of leggings that were a size extra large, which to many may seem not that big of a deal and also still very big. But for me, a very big deal because for a long time I had to wear size 2XL leggings. Now, I'm going to preface this entire conversation, podcast, video, whatever you want to call it, by saying sizing is horrible. It is just so bad in all clothing companies, and then especially like bodies, especially women's bodies and how things fit. Like there have been times where I have put on something that was a size large and then a 3XL and they both fit the same. So it really does vary and it's really challenging. But I'm just going to speak in general from my experience about like shopping and trying on clothes that are more plus size friendly and what I'm looking forward to. So to backtrack, when I was younger, I was never like overweight by like a measurement standard, but I definitely felt it when I stood next to my peers. I was always taller and like thick boned and wide bodied. So I always felt much bigger than other people. And I remember like my friends getting smalls and mediums, and I would get larges or extra larges when it came to like t-shirts, and maybe I just wanted something more loose fitting. I was also extremely insecure at that time. So funny, like when I was younger and so thin, I remember like pulling my t-shirt away from my stomach so it didn't show any like little parts of fat that were on my body, which is probably really just like clumps of skin because I really didn't have fat on my body. And now looking back on that after like being so much more weight than what I used to be in high school. Like I can't wait to experience that and like have wind hit me and like, oh my gosh, a little bit of fat shows. Who cares? Like it's such a different mindset when you go from like being really thin to being really heavy. And then on my way back to thin, like a lot of the things I cared about while I was like gaining weight, I am like now looking forward to and like really no longer care about. Like I look at people that are way smaller than me and I notice people's insecurities because if especially in like certain clothes or bathing suits, you can see where they're pointing their attention. So like if I'm watching somebody and I see them like adjusting themselves because maybe they wanted a little bit of their belly hidden or whatever it might be, you can kind of start to point out like where other people are insecure. And obviously deep down I look at them, I'm like, what do you have to be so ashamed about or insecure about? Like I would love to look like you. I would die to look like you. But that's coming from the perspective of being much bigger. I can relate because I got to my weight by starting off smaller. Like I started off small, I gained 10 pounds, I gained 15 pounds, I gained 20 pounds. And even just that first 10 or 15 is when I started to spiral. That's when I stopped hanging out with people, going out, when I started having an issue with clothes, just from like 10 or 15 pounds. So I do totally understand where people are coming from, that like even a smaller weight gain like that can have such an impact on your body. But then when you get into like the range where I am at, where I have gained like 150 pounds since, college or whatever, then yeah, you look at things a little differently. Anyways, I remember as a kid, like clothing sizes being such a big thing, or being embarrassed to order like bigger clothes, which for me, bigger clothes were a large or an extra large. It was never plus size when I was younger, but it was definitely something I was embarrassed by. I danced my whole life, and I remember the days that we got measured for our costumes. You saw other people's inches written down, and you would compare yourself to other people's inches in terms of like how long, how big their waist is, their arms, their chest, like all the different measurements. Then when I did cheerleading, it was the same thing, picking out uniforms, and there were different sizes, and I was always bigger. Like I just always had larger clothes, and while I was like on the thinner side, I still definitely was always like big boned, as my mom would call it, which turned into a family joke years later. But yeah, I just was always, I guess, larger, but never like fat. Oof, fat is such a strong word. I know it, but I don't, I'm so sick of sometimes just being like overweight or heavier or curvy or plus size. Like, no, like there's a lot of fat on my body. I have been fat for years, but it is a strong word, and I really don't like saying it, but it's what it is. Anyways, so fast forward to like college, and I did not know where to start shopping. Like when I started gaining weight, I was just so thrown off by what to wear at all times. And I still kind of fit into some of my clothes, but like as I started gaining more weight and time went by, I was like, I really need to figure something out because I don't know what to do. And like Amazon wasn't as much of a thing. Like you weren't buying clothes on Amazon, you were more so just buying like other products. And I don't even know where we shopped. Like there was a mall. We used to get a lot of clothes from this website called Toby. They may have gone up to plus sizes. I really don't remember. But like if we had like a themed party, it was so hard for me. It was half the reason I stayed in college and didn't go out was because I never had anything that I liked to wear. Like I never felt good. I never felt confident. I hated, and this is more like junior, senior year when I really gained weight. But like on one side, I wanted to stay in and eat, and then on the flip side, I didn't have anything to wear. So it was literally a vicious cycle. And the worse it got, it was really horrible. So yeah, I remember just like not having clothes that looked good or were cute, and like even if it was something as simple as like having to wear like all black, like I would just buy like an oversized black men's t-shirt that was like 2XL or 3XL, so it was like really long, but it's just so ugly. Like I couldn't figure it out. Like there was no way for me to find like cute clothes that fit my body and that were like the right size. The other problem too is I was so insecure about the weight gain that I was really wearing baggy clothing and loose clothing, and there was nothing that I felt like comfortable in, and I didn't know how to style my body and the shape, and it was ever changing. And like now that I'm going on like the down slope of my weight journey, and even though like at one point when I was this weight coming on the up, I felt like the most insecure and I didn't know what to do and I didn't know what to wear. But now that I'm like coming down and I'm on that down slope, I'm like I know exactly what to wear. I feel so much better in clothes, and it's just a different, it's obviously a different mindset. But looking back on my previous clothes, outfits, like my choices were just horrible. I love clothes. I enjoy, I don't know, I say I don't like the word fashion. It's not like fashion. I think that's like everybody interprets fashion differently, but I really loved clothes and dressing up. And as a kid, like, and even in high school, I dreamed of the day of becoming an adult where I can like wear what I want. My mom used to dress so nice, and she would wear like these like wedges and cute purses. And I just remember as a kid, like wanting to do that when I became an adult, and like because I couldn't wear that to school. Like I could if I wanted to, but like I couldn't. But I just remember wanting to become an adult and being able to like wear whatever I want. So college and post college, I figured it out. I found clothes or I made stuff work. I really don't even know where I got stuff from, to be honest. Like I definitely didn't shop in person because I was so uncomfortable to be shopping in person. to walk over to a specific section that was like plus size was really uncomfortable for me. I would say by the time I got out of college, I was needing clothes that were at least like a 1XL, which a 1XL and an XL are actually very different because a 1XL means they start like building the clothes differently to fit like a plus size body, whereas like XL is just a normal size. It's a little bit bigger. So plus sizes in general are really confusing. And I think a lot of brands like tried to be inclusive by going up, but like the fit is still wrong because people's bodies are very different. You also have people that are like different sizes, but like my thighs are bigger than somebody who may have like a bigger stomach. I have a smaller waist, somebody may have a larger waist. It's just really hard to fit plus size in a box or anybody's body in a box, honestly. Like two people who are a medium may not be able to wear the same clothes because their bodies are physically different. So post college, I don't even know where I shopped. I think it was I actually, I shopped a lot at Boohoo, Boohoo. I got a lot of clothes from there, especially when I started working. I got a lot of my like corporate clothes from there because we couldn't wear jeans. So I had to figure it out. I wore the same things almost every day, but I remember just being so uncomfortable all the time. I want to say at that point I was probably wearing sizes like 12, maybe 14 sometimes, just to be comfortable and have options to wear. But that was like the start of like really struggling to find clothes that I like because I would see what other people would wear and want to wear it, and I just couldn't. So post college, I actually had a pretty big weight fluctuation, like 30 pounds or so that I like fluctuated for like 2 years into 2019. And then the acceleration of me gaining weight really started happening late 2019, 2020 into like COVID years when things just got really bad. If I had to put numbers to it, when I think back to it and like look at my weight that I've tracked for so many years, from like high school through graduating college, I gained about 60-ish pounds. Then I lost a little bit, and again, I fluctuated. Then when it was from like COVID, like 29, like end of 2019, early 2020, because COVID hit March 2020, until November of last year, I gained about 130 pounds. I would say a majority of people that I know in my life weigh 130 pounds or less. I'm talking women. Obviously, that's not everybody, but like that seems pretty average. That's how much I gained. Okay. That's on top of what I already was. So just imagine walking around with like double your weight all the time. It was really brutal, but we'll go into all those details in another story. This is about the clothes. But it just goes to show like how much my body changed and how quickly it changed. It got really, really bad. So now it's like COVID and it's lockdowns and it's work from home and it's just fine loungewear. Like, who cares? Like, jeans, who? I didn't need any jeans. So I'm like ordering different clothes, more loungewear options. And I'm noticing that my sizing does have to go up if I want it fitting loosely, especially it's more so for comfort. Like, could I have fit into a 1XL, 2XL? Yeah, but it's like if I wanted it to fit loosely or fit more comfortably, I have to go up to 3XL and even in many cases a 4XL. Not gonna lie, that was really brutal. I guess now I could sit here and say comfortably as I'm on the down, like I will not care what size I am in the future. Like if in the future I'm at the desire, I don't even have a desired weight. I just want to like how I look. That's literally what I care about. Like I just want to like be very comfortable with where I'm at and like how I look. So I don't care what the number on the scale is. I don't care what the size is. So that's where I'm at. But when you get to a point where you are sizing out of clothes, when you order jeans that they say is a 4XL and they don't even fit, it's like, okay, we've lost the plot. This is rock bottom. It literally can't get any lower. And that actually was a very big uh, motivator. I don't want to say motivator because it's not like it was like, oh, clothes don't fit anymore, gotta lose weight, like as if I didn't realize that before. But it was definitely something that helped in my like, all right, let's really get on the right track because you will have nothing to wear ever. you already hardly have anything to wear. You wear the same things every single day, but you are going to be totally out of options. So you got to figure this out. Now, I also too, I wasn't ordering good quality clothes by any means. Like I was ordering the cheapest clothes possible because I never planned on staying at this weight. So I always was like, I'm not spending money on a lot of money on clothes. I mean, I would literally order like $500, $600, $700 worth of clothes, try a bunch on, return a lot of stuff, but like I wasn't the individual pieces of clothes wouldn't spend a lot of money on them. And I remember, like, and that's why they don't fit. That's why, like, you buy a 4XL and they don't fit, but I could fit into like a 2XL at another company because these are cheap clothes coming from China. So I always know that, like, you got to size up when you're ordering from places like that. But still, obviously disheartening. And I remember, like, even like when we were packing for a trip a couple years ago, I didn't have any jeans, and my mom just went out to like TJ Maxx or Marshalls and bought a bunch of jeans, and they fit a lot nicer. They were ugly, like one of the jeans is okay, but like the shaping, they were ugly. I didn't like them personally. They were not flattering on my body, but like they fit a lot better and the quality was a lot nicer. So I guess when you go like actual shopping, you have better luck, but I was not willing to do that. I was so embarrassed to even step into a store, let alone, try stuff on or, get stuff and return it. It was just a horrible experience. So yeah, I was ordering the cheapest clothes that I could find on very cheap, inexpensive websites. I have so many clothes. I probably have like 50 pairs of jeans that I really haven't been able to wear because they have been sitting in storage because I grew out of them very quickly. And there were times where I would like fluctuate and lose weight. So I would buy jeans at like an aspiring size and then I would fit into them for a day and then I'd be out and just continue to gain weight. And that was a huge problem for me. So I am so excited to be able to fit into the clothes that I do have and get rid of all these massive clothes. Now it's hard because it's like when I release all this weight, I'm gonna want to go on a shopping spree, and I will, and I'll get there. And oh my god, I think about the freedom I'm gonna have to just buy clothes that I like. And I'm not saying everything's gonna look good when I buy it, but trust me, it's gonna be a hell of a lot different than what I've experienced. But I really think about like that. I'm very excited for that. But I always think about like all the clothes that I do have. And I need to figure out like if it's like jeans, like whatever. I'm not worried about jeans and going out of style, and I don't really care about what's in and what's out. I really, honestly, I don't care about that as long as it looks good on my body and I like it. That's what I care about. But I have so much stuff that I need to like retry on, and it's all just sitting in storage that I'm waiting and to clean out my closet with the clothes that I have. So when I would find something that was like I use the word flattering, but I don't even want to say the word flattering. I just want to say like fit me. If I would find something, I would buy so much of it. So I found these like one pair of pants that fit because they were really loose and baggy, and I could wear it with like a tight t-shirt, and it gave me a little bit of shape, even though my shape over the past couple years has just been round. It gave me a little bit of shape. Now you're really able to see my waist as the weight is like releasing, but it is amazing. So I would wear the same thing every single day. I didn't have options. There was no option for me. Like even when I was back in Hoboken and commuting into the city and going into work, it was my biggest challenge is finding what to wear. Even if I did throw on a pair of jeans, I was wearing the same top. So I was actually wearing a lot of these, just like cardigan type jackets with like a loose shirt underneath and tight jeans, and just even shoes. Shoes didn't fit. I couldn't zip shoes up my ankles or up my thighs. Boots, I couldn't zip them. Like certain shoes are uncomfortable too, because if you think about it, think about 130 pounds of your body weight and how your feet feel at the end of a day. Now double it. Okay, that's how I was feeling at the end of the day. It was brutal. Like it hurt so bad. So my options were so limited, and then I moved down to Florida, and I'm like, okay, how do I get stuff that is going to be good with the heat? I haven't worn shorts. I literally don't wear shorts. Like I haven't shown my legs in years. That was another big problem for me. All my dresses that I bought were maxi dresses because probably in the past like 3 to 4 years, I have not worn shorts, a short dress, like nothing. I would wear bathing suits when I would be at the pool or go to the beach, but like I would not show my legs. I was so mortified by my legs. I even remember actually when I toured this apartment and I was so hot and I grabbed a pair of shorts and I put them on because I thought they were my pants, whatever, it was a mishap, and I left them on. And I remember like people I was with were like you sure you don't want to change? And I knew what they were saying. It did not look good and it was clearly not flattering. But I was so hot, I just had to like tell myself, like, I don't give a fuck. Deep down, did I care? Of course I care. Like, I don't want to look bad. I don't, whatever. But like, I had to tell myself, like, I don't care because it was so hot and I needed to wear shorts. But that's a whole side story. There is a part of your brain, like a switch that you do have to shut off, and you do have to pretend like you don't care, and it's like whatever. Now there is a little part of it that actually didn't care. Like there were some sides of me that were just like, I'm going to wear what I have to wear and there's nothing I can do about it. So I had to turn off the noise and I had to turn off like my thoughts of how other people were going to perceive me and just be like, it is what it is. Like this is what I'm wearing. And like at the end of the day, like it's clothes. I was able to put clothes on my body. I really don't care. So there was a little part of that for sure, because what else was I supposed to do? I wasn't going to spend $100 on every new outfit because this was always temporary for me. I never wanted to be this weight for so long. So there was a little bit of definitely a little bit of complication of like back and forth with my brain there. But when it really comes down to it at the end of the day, I obviously cared so much. I hated that I didn't have options. I hated that I couldn't like express myself through my clothes. I used to love doing that. I used to think that I was like such a good dresser, which is so funny because I look back on it now and like obviously I wasn't, but like at the time, like I wore the clothes that I loved. And in high school, I never really repeated an outfit. Me and my camp friend, we went to different high schools. So every weekend we would see each other. She'd bring 5 shirts. I'd bring 5 shirts. We'd swap them and we'd have a second wardrobe. So we like never repeated outfits. Like I loved, I don't know, expressing myself through clothes. So that's been a part of me that has been shut off for so long. I used to express myself through jewelry. I used to wear so much jewelry. I loved rings, and it was mostly rings actually that I wore a lot of, earrings, necklaces, anything that I could get my hands on. Like I really liked accessories, and I literally lost that part of me, which is really sad. But when you go from a size small, which I guess at some point I used to be, to a 4XL in some clothes, it really messes with you. You see the entire spectrum. You honestly see how messed up the clothing industry is. I know there's a lot of people that really fight for the clothing industry to be more inclusive. That's something I always struggle with because on one side, like my brain of health is like, don't encourage this because then people are going to stay heavier because there's options for them. That's such a messed up mindset, but I don't know. I guess you can see where I'm coming from. Maybe if you disagree, bye. But on the flip side, it's like, well, some people like me are struggling, and this is the body that they are in. So I don't think anybody wants to be super super overweight. In my opinion, I think people learn to accept it and love themselves that no matter weight they are, and I think that's amazing and beautiful. And I wish that that could have been me. But I don't think anybody like is trying on purpose to significantly be overweight. So if you are in that body, there should be clothing options for you to have to wear. So I do appreciate the advocacy out there around inclusive sizing. But I do think sometimes the wording is a little bit dangerous, in my opinion. I actually have a lot more to say about that and just the plus size movement in general, but that's going to be for another video. But anyways, I've seen the entire spectrum. I've literally been every single size. It's really freaking hard. It's so hard just in general as a woman. Our bodies, they're so different. They're shaped so weird, and it's just really hard to like fit in. There's no one size fits all, pun intended. But today, when I put on these leggings that were a size extra large, when I have been wearing size extra extra large in leggings specifically for the past probably 2 years, it was such an amazing feeling. I probably could have fit into them like a couple months ago, but when you're already oversized, whatever, you're uncomfortable all the time. I mean, all the time. Like jeans on a regular person is uncomfortable. Think about like your tightest pair of jeans when you're bloated. Like that's what being heavier feels like all the time in jeans. Like I won't wear jeans because they're so uncomfortable to me, and in the past they have been. I'm going to start to reintroduce them, but like it's just very uncomfortable. So like a pair of leggings, like I didn't want to squeeze into them if I didn't have to. And the fact that I fit into them, I can't explain. I can't explain how exciting it is. It is like a whole new world that is starting to open back up to me. I just love the idea of being able to order the clothes that I want. And again, I know not everything is going to look good, and I'm fine. I'm fine with that. But the options are so much more endless, and I am so excited about that, and not having to worry about like Googling best cheap plus size clothing, or going onto a website and like going to the plus size tab, and just like the up they're so ugly. Like things are getting better, but they're so, it's just so funny like what people think like heavier people want to wear. It's just not what I want to wear, but I had no option. I had to oblige by what was provided to me and my options at the time, I guess. Anyways, I feel like I'm repeating myself and going in circles here, but the whole moral of this story and why I wanted to share this is like, as I, I don't even know what the moral of the story is. I was just so excited. I fit into leggings that were a smaller size. I'm starting to size down on my clothes because I'm seeing the physical changes in my body. It is so exciting. RIP to my wallet when I can fit into any clothes, because I'm going to go freaking crazy. I'm so excited to just have options, and like I will get dressed every day. Like right now, since I have moved to Florida, and I actually spoke about this when I was in my office in New York City 2 weeks ago. I said, I don't know if you guys notice that I wear the same thing every single day. And I typically keep a black jacket behind my chair and I just put it on for meetings. But every day I'm in a tank top and leggings. And that's every single day what I wear. Now, I cannot wait to dress up. Like, and I don't mean dress up, it doesn't have to be fancy, but I have this dream. Like, this is my like goal, is to be wearing these like baggy ripped jeans and a tight white tank top tucked in, walking along the beach. Like that's, I don't know why I've had this vision for so long, but that's what I see when I like see myself, and my ideal body is like loose baggy jeans and a tight white tank top. So living in Florida, like I haven't worn shorts, like I haven't worn skirts or dresses. And I'm actually starting to. I just did a little shopping haul because my birthday's coming up. So I bought a bunch of clothes for the weekend, and I did buy a few short dresses. So I'm a little bit more open to showing my legs now, because why the fuck not? But like, yeah, I can't wait to just like wake up and like I can literally throw on a pair of like jean shorts and a tight tank top and tuck that in and call that an outfit for the day. That is so, it seems so out of reach for me. It seems like that was like has been so far away, and it was never going to be an option for me. And it just it's getting closer and closer, and I'm just so excited. So that's where we're at. Extra large leggings, soon it'll be a large, and then it'll be a medium, maybe one day it'll be a small. I don't know, we'll see. I really don't care, like I said, what the actual size is. I'm just grateful to see the weight releasing and coming off and slowly melting away, and my body just getting back to the way that it was. So that's all for day, all for today. Thank you for listening. Would love to hear your feedback, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.